Hey everybody, me again. Okay, so I'm going to do my makeup for you. This may be completely boring to you. I'm going to start off with Strobe Liquid from MAC. I don't use this every day. It's kind of gloomy and dark out today, so I'm kind of weird. On days when it's super sunny, I feel a little bit more concerned about using sort of shimmery things. And this one is so, I don't know, it's so mild that I like to just put it on everywhere under my makeup. And today I am going to use a new highlighter that I got along the cheekbone. So this is just, I don't know, I'm kind of using it like a primer. Okay, so for today's foundation, I'm going to be using Face and Body by Makeup Forever, and I use number 32. I have a ton of different foundations, I will tell you. And I'm yet to find one that I can tell you I absolutely love, and it's my holy grail, as you guys like to say. But until then, you know, I use a different one every day, probably. And here's the thing with foundation. If I'm doing somebody else's foundation, I will use a foundation brush, or depending on the formulation. When I'm doing myself, I really like fingers. This is the Face and Body. I put it between, and for the best application for mature skin, you really want to apply it like you apply moisturizer. Really kind of applying it into the skin, because we don't want it to sit on top. And my face is very red and my neck is very white. So I will apply a little foundation to the neck, and this Face and Body is nice because it completely dries and it's transfer proof. So the next thing I'm going to use is my e.l.f. It's the e.l.f. Shimmering Facial Whip, and this is the color Spotlight, and I squeeze some on the back of my hand. Of course I squeeze way too much, but I just used my finger again, and I'm going to put it right on the cheekbone and under the brow. And you want to really pat this away. Okay, and then I take a little bit down the bridge of my nose. Sit, Teddy. Be a good boy. Good boy. Do a little on top of my lip, since I have no top lip, as you can see. Just right there in the Cupid's bow. We might be getting a delivery. Okay, so that was the e.l.f. highlighter, and guess what? It was $1. I've spent $20 plus on highlighters, and I think I like this one the best. It might be a little on the thin side, but what I like is it highlighting look without being actual sparkles in the skin, and I think when you're older, that's a really big, important thing. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is my eye primer, and if you notice, I'm just sticking to all the liquid or cream things first, and then I'll get on to the powder stuff. And right now I'm just using a paint pot called Painterly by MAC, which you all know, everybody uses this. For concealer, I'm going to use Clinique Airbrush. This is one that Lisa Eldridge recommends, and I really like it. Out of all, I've got so many concealers right now, and out of all of them, I keep coming back to this one. So I recommend it. You know, you just twist it a few times and then apply it. And as you can tell, I'm using my computer as my mirror, so who knows how this is going to come out. And I like to put a little at the outside corners. Now, you can use your 224 like all the gurus do and blend it in, but I got to be honest with you, my favorite thing for concealer is finger. So I'm actually going to use my little mirror here so I can sort of see what I'm doing. And as you may have noticed, I have really dark under eyes. I'm Italian, and I've had these under eye circles since I was a little girl. So, of course, aging hasn't helped. And when you apply your concealer, you know, I think it really helps to pat as opposed to rub, because we don't want to rub it all away. We want to press it into the skin. So there, that's it. Red. But I'm particularly red around the nose. I'm also really red on the chin, but I'm not going to put any concealer there. I've got some hyperpigmentation right here. And my nose, I have something called Raynaud's, however you want to say it, syndrome. So my nose gets really swollen and red. So I do like to do something there, but I'll show you after what I do. So I'm just kind of patting around where I've got all the dilated, broken capillaries. They're called, everybody says broken capillaries. They're not really broken capillaries. They're not really broken. They're dilated. And I'm just patting in where I've covered. And while we're at it, I'm going to show you how to cover this. I wouldn't really worry about it today because I'm not really showing it, but I can't even see what I'm doing. There it is. So I'm just going to, there we go. So that's good enough, you know, for today. If I were wearing sleeveless with everything showing, I might use a more opaque concealer. So that's my concealer. So now I'm going to go ahead with powder. Today I'm going to be using MAC's Prep and Prime. But I really just put a very, very light amount. What I like about this Prep and Prime is that it helps diffuse the pores, and I mostly keep it to the center. And I do the eyes, of course. Okay, so now I'm going to contour my face, and because as we get older, everything sort of falls. We don't have the angular faces that we once had. I think that contouring is really important. Today I'm just going to use the GloMinerals. This one's called Sunlight, and I'm just going to use a little flat brush. This is one I've had forever, and I like to just kind of suck your cheeks in. Apply it there. So now, here's what I think is really important as we get older. We really lose our jawline. See, I think this is a really important place, especially on me. You may not have the issue like I do. I can't stand what's happened to my jaw with aging. So you kind of go right along under here, and then you're going to want to blend it sort of down. So it goes away into nothing. And then I like to kind of do the side of the neck a little bit, kind of in a V. You can come up. I have a little cleft here, so I'll just come right up into that. Have fun with it. And then I like to just put a little there. Just using what's left on the brush. And then I really like to contour my nose because you can see it's a little on the bulbous side. That's okay. I don't really worry about it too much. This is really helpful. As we age, like I said, everything falls. So this is something I really like to do. It's funny when you're using your computer, you think you're off a little bit with with where you're aiming for. I guess I should get my old mirror out. Okay, so that looks like really funny, right? I'm just going to press it in. And if you kind of smush and pull, you end up taking it all off. So that's why I really like to do the pressing. Now, this doesn't entirely lift, you know, where I'm really sagging, but it helps. Every little bit helps. That's what I'm all about. Every little bit helps. The Avon, what's it called? Soft Plum. This is one that I saw Pixie 2 Woo use, and I liked it, so I ordered it. And I got to tell you, Avon, it's the first time I've ever ordered from Avon. I couldn't believe their prices and the deals, so I recommend, hey, give them a go. I like to put it on the sides of the cheekbone as opposed to the front. When I was younger, I used to do that pop the cheeks thing, but now that I'm older, I don't do that as much because, I don't know, it just doesn't look as good as I get older. And I'm just using a MAC brush, the one that's kind of the pointed, it's just one that I grabbed, so. Okay, so now that's the face. Now we're going to move on to the eyes.